In this video, we're going to be talking about 7 essential ingredients for starting a successful YouTube channel or growing your current YouTube channel, and actually breaking down our 7 C's of YouTube success, which we have not shared yet. So I'm super excited to get into this. But Benji, if people are new here, what is Video Influencers all about?
Welcome, you guys. We are so excited to have you guys here. My name is Benji Travis. Welcome to Video Influencers, where we're helping you build your influence, income, impact with online videos. And you guys, we're celebrating our book launch today. YouTube Secrets is finally out. Worked on this for 4 years. This is made for you guys. This book is for you guys. Already a #1 bestseller on Amazon. But you guys, if you guys don't know us here at Video Influencers, we're putting out a weekly tips video as well as interviews with some of the most successful influencers on this platform. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. But Sean, I'm just excited to dive into what we're talking about today. 7 pro tips, like how to start a successful YouTube channel. Let's dive right into it because we've got the 7 C's, you guys.
Yeah, so this is the 7 C's of YouTube success. And in our new book, this is part 1. So we actually go into some advanced tactics in part 2. But we want to go through these because you really need a solid foundation. But as Benji mentioned, if you're new to this channel, our passion is helping you build your influence, income, and impact with online video. And Benji, we've been doing this for a while. Do you want to cover some of the things we've been up to?
Absolutely, you guys. Obviously, Sean and I, we love YouTube. And part of it is because we've been on it for literally 2 decades. Between the two of us, 5,000 plus uploads to the multiple channels that we have and we are participating in. Over 2 million subscribers. We don't put a lot of weight on how many people follow us, but obviously, we've been doing this for so long. We've been able to connect with so many of you, including you guys, the influencers on this channel, Video Influencers. We both have 7-figure companies on this platform, as well as, one of the things we're most proud of, especially when it comes to the book, is the fact that we've actually interviewed over 100 influencers on this platform, and all those interviews are on Video Influencers. Help thousands, maybe tens of thousands of you guys start YouTube channels and become successful. And that's what we're proud of. We love the fact that YouTube and social media, and specifically online video, is allowing everybody that's on this platform who's hustling, who's working it the right way, to create a living, to create an impact in people's lives. So let's get right into some of the principles.
And over the past 4 years, we've been asking ourselves this question, what are the proven principles of YouTube success? Like if you want to brick by brick build your YouTube channel, what are the elements? And we've come up, and now this is with the launch of our book, the 7 C's of YouTube success. And in this video, we just kind of want to give an overview of these 7 things. Now, in the book, we go deeper, and over the next couple weeks and even months, we're going to be going deep into these here on this channel. So definitely make sure you're subscribed, because we can touch these on a surface level, but they go deep. And so we're just going to give you kind of about 20 questions that every content creator, entrepreneur, and YouTuber needs to ask around these ideas. So let's kick it off, Benji, with the first one. But before we do that, another thing you could do is grab a piece of paper, write these questions down, write these areas down, and rate yourself 1 to 10 in each area. What's cool about this is if your, courage, the first one, is at a 3 and you can get it to a 6, your channel's going to grow. If your cash, your monetization strategies are at a 4 and you can get them to an 8, you're going to make more money. So as we're going through these, definitely rate yourself 1 to 10. And let's kick it off with the first one, Benji, and that's courage.
Absolutely. You guys, courage is so important because one of the #1 reasons why people don't get on this platform is because of fear of judgment, fear of negativity. Obviously, there's trolls, there's haters out there. And I can tell you, both Sean and I, we have dealt with this. Every YouTuber, every influencer, every creator that started a channel has to deal with somebody trying to drag them down. What we would say is this: be bold and know that once you break through the threshold of doubt and you just basically slap fear to the side, there is so many amazing opportunities for you. So courage, and that's the reason when we started this book with this C, is because courage is so important, because it's a shame if you don't start a channel. So #1 thing, start a channel, start uploading today.
And a question to ask is, when are you going to post your first video? Meaning, if you've been watching video influencers for a while now and you've watched 10 or 20 of our videos and you haven't posted your first video, we want to challenge you to punch fear in the face, punch perfectionism in the face, and press record and get that first video up. Because the reality is, your first videos are going to be your worst videos, and you got to get through those and just do it. Just start posting. That's what Benji and I did. Our first videos weren't that great, but we eventually made it to where we are today because of courage. But here's one of the things with all of these 7Cs. They're not just, you might think, well, I've been doing this, man. I got this on lock, Benji. I got this on lock, Sean. I got the courage. I want to challenge you. Even if you're a veteran, there's a deeper level of courage for you. And so the power question for you would be, what really is the next level of courage for you? And what we mean is, maybe you're holding back some of your beliefs, your opinions that would be a little polarizing, but they could be the key to your next level of breakthrough. Sometimes making a stand, if you don't stand for anything, you stand for nothing. So what is that topic that maybe would get some haters, but also could create some growth? That could be the next level of courage for you. So we've realized we always have to tap into new levels of courage, even though we've been doing this for a while. So consider that when it comes to courage. Next up is clarity. Benji.
Amazing, Sean. Love the wisdom. And the next one is clarity, as Sean mentioned. What is the elevator pitch of what you're going to be creating, right? How clear are you on where you're going? It's so important to have intention when it comes to not just starting your channel, but the content you're going to deliver and what you want to get out of this whole thing. There's a lot of different steps here, a lot of different principles we're going to share. But if you don't have clarity about why you're doing this, right? Where you want to go with it, what kind of goals you want to achieve, you're just going to be all over the place. One of the ways that we share this is like, if you're going to get to a destination, you need a destination and you need a clear path on how you're going to get there. Otherwise, you're going to get lost. You're going to get frustrated. So clarity is the first thing. I'm going to hand it off to Sean with, what are the questions, Sean, that people should be asking themselves when it comes to clarity?
So you always want to start with the end in mind. So what is your end goal? But a few clarity questions here is, who is your content for? That's like your target audience. Like, who is your channel for? And if you try and reach everybody, you'll end up reaching nobody. So not everyone is going to love Benji's cooking videos, but a lot of people do. And so he knows that his cooking content is for people who love food, people want easy to make at home recipes. So who's your content for? You want to define that. Then what is the promised value of your content? Meaning, in Benji's case again, he's going to be uploading one video a week with a new recipe that's going to either get you hungry, get you inspired, or give you something to cook. And so what's your promised value? Are you creating weekly content around some type of a topic or a niche? Is your promised value to entertain? And then when are you going to deliver that value? That's kind of like your content uploading schedule. Are you going to do a new video on Tuesday and a live stream every Friday? You want to define these questions. And remember, you want to rate yourself in these areas. If you're like, Sean, Benji, I'm like a 2 on clarity, I have no idea what I'm doing, that's fine. Like, it's good. It's so great you're here and you can keep posting videos. But as you take that 2 to a 6 and an 8 and a 10, when you level up your clarity, you're going to level up your impact. And so clarity. But the next one is your channel. Benji.
Awesome, Sean. Yes, the next one is your channel. And this is your opportunity to communicate what you're all about. We talk about first impressions being so important when you're meeting somebody or when somebody's coming over to your home or your business. And this is your opportunity to tell people what you're all about. Very easily, the basic stuff is like, what kind of images are going to see when you create your channel. You need a Gmail to create your channel, to create the account. But like, what kind of thumbnails are going to be on your videos that people will see at first? What's the banner, your profile, even the messaging that's on there? But even beyond that, one way we look at the channel is you're starting to build a brand. And this brand is so important because this is going to be how you communicate what your messaging is, what your value is visually. So channel is so important. And there's definitely a lot of questions you want to ask when you're first getting started about what to do with your channel.
Yes. And so when it comes to your channel, this is the home for your content, right? As Benji mentioned, it's a place where you want to make a good first impression and you only really get one chance to make a first impression. And so, just a quick question here. And again, we go into much more deep tactics in the book, and we'll link to that in the YouTube description below if you want to pick up a copy. But what message does your channel branding communicate? If I was to ask you, what do you want your brand to be known for? If you were to say, I want it to be kind of excellent, inspiring, joyous, because I'm an outgoing person, bright, vibrant. Was your channel showing that right now? Does your channel cover art, your avatar, your thumbnails, are they reflecting the message you want to communicate? And have you done like a spring cleanup of your channel? Like maybe are the links working? Is your about page current? Are the playlists organized? There's a lot we could go into here, but we're just doing an overview. And so really do a channel audit. Think about how you can level up your channel and take things to the next level, which brings us to the next C, and that's content.
You guys, this is one of my favorite chapters in the book because, ultimately the thing that I always focus on is what is the value that I'm going to give to somebody else? And that's going to happen through content. Now, there's a lot of other strategies that we dive deeper in when it comes to content in the book, but ask yourself this, like when someone's sitting at a computer and they're typing away, they're searching something, and they're watching your videos, will they feel there's enough value to continue watching? Is it going to be exciting? Is it going to hold their attention? And these are things that are really important because content is king. But there's definitely questions, again, that you want to ask yourself.
Yes. And so when it comes to content, content is king, as Benji mentioned. And there's a few areas. Now, we're going to be actually going very deep and we're going to be going on tour. We'll talk about that later, a couple different cities. And we're going to be sharing those sessions with you here on this channel, Video Influencers, because content is something we could probably talk about for the rest of our lives, right? As far as different tactics and strategies. But on a top level, good content, we believe, has to be at least one of the following things. Is your content going to be inspirational? Is it going to be informational, educational, motivational, entertaining, or is it going to create connection and community? And so you could turn these into questions. When you're starting a video, what is the intent? Am I going to try to help somebody learn something? How to use a camera, how to use lighting, how to put on makeup? Am I going to try to make people laugh with my comedy, with my vlog, with my kids being funny? Am I going to try to create community, which is actually really good for live streaming? Because as we're live right now, you might be here on the replay, but we can say, what's up, AJ? What's up, J Vlog? What's up, Melinda? And we can interact and have community. And sometimes that could be the purpose of your content. Whenever you press record, define the purpose of your content and always bring it back to what type of value is your content going to add. But the next C is community.
One of the reasons why YouTube is set apart from traditional media is the fact that this is a two-way street. We put out content, people leave comments, and we can start a conversation. So that's a lot of C's there, right? But it's so important to realize that that engagement is what sets YouTubers in general apart from most other creators. It's the fact that we can connect on a deeper level. And I can tell you this, especially in the very beginning, half your time should be spent on engaging with people, replying to comments, doing creative stuff to make sure that the community that you have feels like they're part of a community and they feel important. But of course, there's definitely questions here as well for you to ask yourself to make sure you're hitting this and making the most of your community.
Yes. And Dave, thank you so much for that super chat. And one power question for community is, how can you care for and connect with your community? And so what are some ways you could do that? Could you answer more comments? But here's a few other ideas. Could you maybe take the conversation off YouTube and send somebody in your community a video message on Twitter, or take the conversation to Instagram direct message and really answer someone's question? Could you maybe, one of the people in our community, Justin Coe, kind of has like a mentorship faith-based channel, and he's even done Skype calls with people, just complimentary, to really add value. And it's created so much depth with his community. So ask yourself, how can I surprise and wow people in my community, create a deeper connection, and really go the extra mile beyond maybe what other YouTubers are doing, other content creators are doing? Because when you add that extra love, that extra care, and you create that deeper connection, that is what leads to legacy on your channel. But next up is cash, because if you're going to monetize, you got to monetize, right? And actually make money. So Benji, talk about it.
And you guys, we're not shy to this topic at all. You know, some people feel like it's taboo. We think it's important that you need to make a living, you need to pay your bills, and you need to up the levels of your production. And the only way to do that is to make money, right? To monetize some way. Now, we're not gonna dive very deep into this, but let me tell you, this is something that maybe you don't want to be premature and make it a focus when you're just starting, but you definitely want to have it in your mind, some different strategies that you want to dive into so that you can monetize sooner than later without endangering the integrity of your content of your channel, right? Or, like really scaring away your audience, which will eventually become your community. But it's absolutely true. Sean, let's dive into some of those questions about, how to monetize when it comes to cash in these 7C principles.
Yes, and ultimately you kind of said it, Benji. For time's sake, you just want to kind of ask, how are you going to monetize your content? And a couple ideas here is to think outside of the box. A lot of us on YouTube, we think about AdSense as the only way to monetize. And, it's not the only way. In fact, it's our least favorite way. And in the book, we actually cover 10 ways to make money on YouTube, and we go in depth with some different ideas. But for now, we actually just want to recommend a playlist of how to make money on YouTube, our newest series. We'll link that up on the YouTube card and put that in the description as well, because we think this is a very important topic. And we have a lot of training out there that we'd love to share with you, which brings us to the final C, and that is consistency.
This is the thing. Just like anything in life, it takes a lot of practice. You have to practice, practice, practice. Practice makes perfect, they say. And I can tell you, YouTube is very similar. You've got to be uploading a lot of videos. However, I think there's definitely a strategy to it. Just to leave you with one super tip. This isn't something that we typically talk about necessarily on this presentation, but we'd rather see you upload once a week for a whole year than 52 times, 52 days in a row and get burnt out. Consistency is key, but make sure you pace yourself. But that consistency is what's going to keep that connection alive with your audience. And again, there's definitely questions you want to ask here, but ask yourself, are you going to be consistent? And that's, again, why it's important to start with a topic that you're passionate about so you don't get burnt off and quit prematurely.
Yes. And so you'll see with these 7 C's, of course, consistency is a big deal, because at the end of the day, YouTube is a marathon and not a sprint. And, Benji was actually the person who inspired me to get into running. And one of the things, of course, I've learned is that if you're sprinting, you have different shoes, you have different breathing, you have a different mindset, you have a different launch out of the blocks. And if you were to start a marathon that way, though, you'd burn yourself out. There's no way you could sustain that level of intensity, because you're only going 100 meters or you're only going 400 meters. But with a marathon, it's the long haul. And this is what YouTube's all about. So you need to have consistency. And the question here is really, what smart systems can you create to stay consistent on YouTube? And what we mean is, whether that's systems of when you shoot, when you batch your videos, or how you schedule, or how you edit all your videos together. What smart systems can you install in your life? It's kind of like your workflow. What kind of tools can you use to speed up your editing or to speed up your process? Because you know that if you've been posting videos for a while, it's hard work, right? And especially over the long haul, you got a family, you've got kids, you've got a job, you've got school. And so ultimately we dive deeper into this in the book. But the biggest question just to talk about at the top is, again, what smart systems could you be creating to really be working smarter and not just harder, to be more efficient, be more productive? And we're going to be sharing a lot more content on the 7 C's in the coming weeks. So here's the thing. The 7 C's are not a linear process. There's a reason the framework it's not like a starting line and a finish line. They're an ongoing process. Anybody who wants to keep building their influence on YouTube should be thinking about these things over and over. Once you get to the end, you're like, what's that new level of courage that I need to step out and take another risk, or to make an investment in my channel, or invest in myself? Is my content clear? Could it be clearer? Could I get more clarity? All of these areas. And the goal is to continually evaluate and level up each area little by little. So remember, we asked you to rate yourself on a scale from 1 to 10. And so think about that. All 7 C's. Man, my channel, I'm not that good at design, and it doesn't quite hold the vision that I want it to have. So maybe it's a 3. So start studying design or get some help or hire a graphic designer. Think about how you could turn that 3 into an 8, and now you're taking things to another level, and you want to continually do that over and over. Benji, you want to speak to the process of working the 7 C's and how we've done that over the last really 4 years on this channel?
Absolutely. This is the thing about the 7 C's. These are principles that will work not only for Sean and I, who are already established, we've got experience, but absolutely will work for you as a newbie, right? As a somebody that's just starting their channel today. And the reason we're so proud of these 7 C's is because, again, we practice what we preach. We applied these principles as we're working the book on this channel, video influencers, and we feel like it's always going to take hustle. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So you got to be in there for the long haul. However, we're hoping that the 7 C's, the principles that we write about, that not only that we've learned from our own experiences, but from other YouTubers, will help you speed up the process, right? Jumpstart your experience. Skip a few mistakes. Sean, give me an Amy. How many mistakes have we made over the years? Like tons, right? And go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say we've made tons of mistakes, and
Yeah.
we're gonna be sharing that in future videos. But even when we think about ourselves, 4 years ago, our videos here on Video Influencers weren't even close to what they were today. Benji and I's energy, the way we work together. So our content was, hopefully all right, right? But it's been a progression. You're always going to be progressing, always be growing. And if you're committed to that process by turning that 8 to a 10, right? By leveling up your stuff, that's the goal, right, Benji?
Absolutely. And so the last thing I'll say in terms of this book, which obviously we're very proud of, is the reason we wrote it, you guys, is for you guys. We had literally decades between the two of us of helping other people as well as doing this for ourselves. And we believe the opportunities is the best ones are still yet to come. And it's so important to start today. And if this book helps you skip a few steps, right? Speed up the process. We'd be so proud to say that this book helped you do that. And we absolutely believe that is possible. But, regardless of all that, it's so important to just get going. And if you're an established YouTuber, right, or maybe you're in your first year, your second year, we believe that the stories in this will help inspire you. We've already been getting some feedback from people that are already established, right, been on this as long, if not longer than us, that have said they feel reinvigorated. They've got re-energized to commit to this in a way they only felt when they first started. So again, I'm going to hand it off to Sean, but we love you guys. We want to support you. We want to be here with you, just like we have the last 4 years. And hopefully through this book, through the 7 C's, that not only you guys can do it, but other people who just stumble into video influencers or find this on Amazon can also have success when it comes to their journey on YouTube.
Yes. And so Luke asked a great question. How much is the book? Right now, the book is out. You can go to tubesecretsbook.com. It'll get you there on Amazon, Barnes& and Noble. The ebook is just $5. So if you want to grab a digital copy, you can do that. And then the physical book is $15 here in the US. Here's the cool thing is it's also it's on Amazon, Australia, Mexico. I think you could check all the different sites, and it's going to be coming up on other sites as well. We're doing an audiobook right now. We'll be getting on the digital other platforms like iBooks and Google. So stay tuned. But right now, Amazon.com is the place to be. Links in the description below to YouTube Secrets. And then we're also giving away some bonus training, an additional bonus video, an additional workbook. And so all of that is at tubesecretsbook.com. And if you have any questions, connect with Benji and I on Instagram, on Twitter. We'd love to connect with you, shoot us some tweets, some feedback, anything at all. And thank you so much for checking out this video. Question of the day: which C do you need to work on the most? In fact, let's do this. Come on, everybody. Maybe tell me what you rated yourself at, and tell me what C you need to work on the most, that if you level that one up, you know that everything else you are doing will grow. And actually, we're going to jump on to do some Q&A in just a second. Give us about 5 minutes, and we'll be back right here on this channel for some Q&A. But if you're new here, subscribe. If you're not subscribed, turn notifications on. And if you want to check out some other videos from Video Influencers, just click or tap the screen right there. But until next time, this channel is all about helping you build your influence, income, and impact with online video. Keep crushing it, and we will talk soon.